Today we are making a video on Refracta Linux. It is based on Debian and Devuan, and the desktop environment for the Refracta is Xfce desktop environment. So here is the boot menu of Refracta. These are all the options to boot it in some of the options. So let's boot it in a live boot. So I didn't do any video before, so let's explore with us. I'm going to explore with you. So it's going to take a maximum of 1 minute to load up the desktop layout, and a minimum of 30 to 40 seconds, because that's the usual timing of Linux distro, of every Linux distro, which takes that much of time. I didn't make any video of the Refracta Linux in the previous thing, so I don't even know how this looks and how it feels. So I'm going to be exploring with you. So I forgot to mention that I'm running it on a virtualization, which is a VMware with 80 GB of hard disk, 4 GB of RAM and 2 processors. So it should take a few more seconds. So something I want to say that is I'll be posting 2 videos daily without missing any day. So I already posted a video of another Linux content. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out after watching this full video. So it's almost up to 22 seconds or 23 seconds. We should be seeing our, here you can see a mouse pointer, and you should be seeing a mouse pointer with a highlighter because I set it up in my screen recording for me, but for me it's just like a mouse pointer, nothing else. So here is our welcome screen completely loaded. So let's first change the resolution because I'm running it on a virtual machine, which is a VMware. So let's first change the desktop setting or the display setting. Let's go to the system, and we don't see any system settings here of a display. I don't know, do we have like a system settings? Here is the settings and the display. I forgot that the display settings should be in the settings. I went to system, no problem. Let's first change the display resolution. Mine is a 1920 x 1080, but here is not available. You can type in the command, but I'm going with a 1360 x 768 because it's a 16:9 ratio. So let's change the resolution and change the VMware setting too. Let's keep that as the aspect ratio. So let's close this thing and open the system monitor first. It's a desktop, I guess. So let me close this thing and open the system monitor, which should be here. Task manager, there is not even a task manager. It's just a desktop. So as you can see, there is no task manager or system monitor. So let's open the desktop. We have a desktop. These are all the pre-installed apps, as you can see. So let me first open the desktop and check out the resources consuming. So this is the desktop. So let's scroll it down. So let's check the version of the terminal, which is a 0.8.10. Let me close this thing. I don't know what version of Xfce is. So let's check that the version of Xfce. So instead of that, let's open the terminal and check the information here of full system information by typing the command, which is inxi-sv8. inxi command is not found, so at least we try a neofetch. Here is the neofetch. Operating system Devuan GNU+Linux 4 Chimera. So kernel is a 5.10. and the desktop environment is a Xfce 4.16, and here is my CPU that I am using 4 GB of RAM, which I already mentioned, and the RAM consumption is almost 500 MB. Xfce uses the less resources, so it's a lightweight desktop environment. Not only Xfce, we have like a LXQT and a LXDE. So here is the full information. So let's type in uname -a. So this is the kernel, and it's a Linux Refracta. So here is the full information. So let me exit this thing and let me open the web browser, which is Firefox. Firefox is the default browser for almost every Linux distro. You already know that. So it's going to take 15 to 20 seconds to load up the desktop layout. Here are the resources. Usage is as you can see, there is a CPU usage is going crazy, and the RAM usage is also good like this. So it's clearly up to you to use it or not. So let's first check the version of a Firefox. It's a 102. So let's type in the website, which is Refracta Linux. So this is the search term you need to type in the search bar or the search engine or in your browser. So it's going to take a few seconds, and here is the website. Not a fancy website, just a casual website. The information is here. If you want, you can go through all the information. Let's go to the downloads and see how to download this thing. Here is the current and stable ISO, which is based on Devuan Chimera, and these are some of the older versions. So here are the screenshots. If you want, you can go through the screenshots. So here are the screenshots, almost exactly the same which we have. So let's click on the current, and the current version is 11.2. as you can see, it's 5th May. So there are some of the other desktop environment, which is Nox. I don't know properly what is Nox, maybe the custom desktop environment, but I choose the Xfce desktop environment because everyone knows the Xfce desktop environment. So I downloaded this one, which is AMD 64. This is a 32-bit. People who want a 32-bit ISO, there is also a 32-bit, which is a i386, and this is a 64-bit, which is a AMD 64. So let me click here. So the file size is around 1.1 GB, and I am using a VPN, so it's pretty slow for me. So let me close this thing. I showed you the website, I showed you the process of downloading. So let me close this thing. So let's find out there is a installer for this or not. So these are all the apps which comes pre-installed. There is nothing much unique or the difference in this other types of Linux distro with this Linux distro. Just a basic apps, nothing more than that. There is no installation or the installers too. So remember that thing. It only works on live boot, I guess. You can install it in the boot menu, I guess. So here is the Synaptic Package Manager. Let me show you. The installed version will be highlighted with a green box, and the installed version will be like this. So let me quickly scroll it down, because if I go in a slow mode, it's going to take ages to complete. So if you want to see the packages in the slow motion, you can change the YouTube settings to go to the YouTube settings and then playback speed. The default version will be, default number will be 1.0. Change it to 0.25, so it will be slow. So these are all the installed apps. So let me check the version of the Synaptic. Here is the version. So the panel version is also be like a 4.16.2. So these are all the desktop features. As you can see, there is nothing fancy or nothing unique about this Linux distro, just a casual Linux distro, and it's an old version of a Xfce. I don't think people will download this Linux distro because it's already a 4.16. So the latest version is like a 4.18.4. So it's clearly up to people to choose the older version or not. It's always a good recommendation to always follow the latest version because it will be safe. You already know why. And the version of a TUNR file manager is a 4.16.8. So let's check out the desktop wallpapers if it's available. So these are some of the wallpaper. Some of them are already Xfce's wallpaper. So these are the Refracta Linux wallpapers. So let's open some of the apps and check the version and end the video, because there is nothing more than that in this Linux distro. So these are some of the pre-installed apps. I don't need to show you these apps because they're all already in the Xfce 4.16. So that will be weird if I show everything, because you already saw and used that old Linux distros, old Xfce desktop environment, so no need to open that. So let's just open the important apps, like this is a torrent client, so there is no need. I already showed the Firefox web browser version, so there is no also no office suite like a LibreOffice, all that things. So it's clearly up to you to choose it or not. So these are all the, I think here is a Refracta installer. So this is the installer. You already know how to use the Refracta installer in the some of the Linux desktop environment or the Linux distros. So here is the version of Atrial document viewer. So let me close this, and the GIMP version is 2.10.22. let me close this thing also. GNU version should be version is here, as you can see. So I think we covered everything. There is nothing unique in here. So there is a Tor browser. There is also something called like a fire menu. Let me see what is this. So here is a fire menu. I think we covered everything. There is not even a task manager. I don't know what type of people use this Linux distro. So we covered everything, I guess. So this is the GDB version. So here is the resources. Here are the resources. So I think that's the end of the video. So there is nothing more unique or something new in this Linux distro, so that's the reason I'm going to end it, because there should be something to look out. There is nothing, so it's a waste of time to even use this Linux distro. So I think that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. It helps make a good content for you. Other than that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out. So I already posted another video. If you want to check that out, you can check that out after watching this video. Peace out.